As we journey through life, we all encounter ebbs and flows, many highs and lows. We often come across stumbling blocks that leave us feeling quite disheartened or unsure about how to move back to the realm of possibility and positivity. No matter what we undergo, we all can embrace the journey, tap into the tools to push through and overcome, and find the beauty in the ashes. This is Odyssey with Yendi, Beauty in the Ashes. I feel like Abby is the Lionheart queen. Like without, oh, okay, jig. I'm here for the jig. Hey, yes. Girl, hey.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm good.
You are good.
Yes.
I feel that energy. I feel that warmth today. Not just today. Always.
Always.
How are you still so positive despite all you have endured in this journey?
Sometimes I don't know.
Yeah.
I just know that I try my best to stay positive because, sitting and wallowing in distress makes life harder.
Yeah.
And I don't only want to be alive, I want to live.
Yes.
Yeah. So I have to try to be positive all the time. Yeah.
There's a reason I refer to you as Lionheart because all things, Abby, refer to affairs of the heart, right?
Yes.
Let's get into that a bit. It is, I actually love your choice of outfit, by the way.
Thank you.
Because I love when people boldly and proudly don their scars or their, we shouldn't find another word for scars, don't? I could come up with something for them.
Yes.
Don't it? It's like journey marks, journey stamps or something. But I love that you're proudly donning the markings from your surgeries. You've had countless surgeries.
Yes.
And why is it that you've had countless surgeries?
Okay, the beginning. I was diagnosed with arrhythmogenic right ventricular dysplasia, or ARVD, back in 2011. And this diagnosis came after about a little over a year of being a lab rat, doing countless tests, repeating the tests, being at the hospital very often. And I was having signs and symptoms of a heart disease since I was 7.
Hold on. At 7 years old, what do signs and symptoms look like?
At 7, being a hyperactive child, I got tired very easily. My heart would race all the time, and I would have sharp chest pains. And when I got tired, it took a while for me to recover.
Right.
Yeah. My mom took me to a doctor, who sent me to another doctor, who sent me to another doctor, and he just listened to my heartbeat and said I'm fine. He didn't do any test or anything.
Really?
So that was our first miss. And I continued through high school, community college, being the typical teenager, being hyperactive, and my dream was to become a dancer. So I was always dancing, couldn't keep steady.
I'm here for the dancers, by the way. Dancers unite.
Yeah, even my grandmother used to say, "Little girl, maka na your kin." I just couldn't keep still, And when I just started university, my symptoms worsened.
Is that when you were dancing?
Yeah. Symptoms got worse. Especially the chest pains became more frequent. And sometimes you couldn't tell me, say, I wasn't getting a heart attack. That's how painful they were.
Wow.
I called a friend of mine who's a doctor, and I said, okay, we need to get this sorted out. So we did an ECG, which showed an abnormal heart rhythm. And he referred me to KPH, who sent me to UWI.
Okay.
And for over a year, I was a lab rat at UWI until we got the final diagnosis and said, the only thing that can help you is to get surgery done. And we did the first surgery. And
how old were you at this point?
I was 19.
Wow.
And the doctor said to me, you need to treat this heart disease, you need to get an implantable cardioverter defibrillator.
I'm sorry, Abby, we're going to all need you to speak English here.
Okay.
What?
You're going to need a battery.
Okay.
Yeah, you're going to need a battery in your chest. So I said, okay, what's the cost for this battery thing? And he said 15,500. I was like, come on, I can give you that right now.
And then he said,
and then he said unto me, 15,500 US dollars. At that time, like, time stood still. I froze. I was like, where am I going to get this money from? I don't have it.
I mean, in real life.
In real life, I don't have it. That's
Yeah.
a lot of money. Back
Yeah.
in 2011, 2012, that's a
Right.
lot of money.
Even today, yeah.
Yeah. And he said, we can get you assistance. So I got some assistance from the Ministry of Health. And I remember I went home, continuing school. And he messaged me one day to say, okay, Abi, the battery's here, so talk to your family about surgery and we can prepare for it. So I said, okay, I'm going to try to get some more funds towards the hospital fees and stuff. So just hold it for about a month or two. And he said, we don't have a month or two. The next time your heart races, you can go into cardiac arrest and die. So please find yourself at the hospital Wednesday for admission. So we can do surgery on Thursday. And this was Monday.
Wow. You have 48 hours to wrap your mind around this.
Yeah, this was my very first surgery. I've never been admitted to a hospital. I'm afraid of hospital. I don't like hospital. And him just dropped the bomb on me and said, okay, you're going to do a heart surgery.
In 48 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when him tell me that, I literally get sick same time.
Oh gosh. Belly weak.
Vomiting,
Yes,
diarrhea, the sweating, everything.
Yes, man, weak.
So I had to get myself together. I got to school, tell the head of my department, said, okay, this is what's happening. I'll have to leave school for a while. She said, okay. And I went shopping, you know, your little nightie and bed slippers and so. Yeah, so you look like somebody picked me while I was on ward and I did the shopping. And I remember driving into Kingston, because I'm from Manchester. Driving into Kingston, I was just praying when I said, God, please just make me come back. Please make me wake up from this surgery. Please, like, I'm so young, I don't want to die. And by this time, thoughts of my mother came rushing in because
You had lost her
years before, yeah, my mom died. Same heart condition.
Did you know that she had the same heart condition?
No, we didn't know till years later, but we know that it was heart related. Yeah, so I was saying, Lord have mercy. And then my mom died young. She was 39 when she died. So I was just really scared, and I went into hospital and they were prepping me for surgery. And even while the doctors were talking to me, I was just praying. I said, God, please just bring me through this. All right, so Wednesday I was being admitted. The doctors came telling me about the risk of the surgery, and I have to sign in case anything happens.
No liability for them.
Yeah, so signed it and telling me the risks. I was like, all right, I'm not pay these risks no mind. I'm going in, do my surgery, come out, all will be well. I'm not think about no risks or nothing.
Positive mindset.
Positive mindset. And through that time, while I was praying, the only thing I could hear in my mind was faith, little mustard seed. That's all. So I grew up in church, so I knew what that meant. So I said, all right, I just need to have just a little toops of faith.
Mustard seed faith.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I went into surgery, and it was scary because I've never done a surgery before, and when they put you to sleep, it's not like your dream or anything. You don't know anything. You don't know
nothing at all.
You don't exist.
Yeah.
Woke up out of surgery, and I was like, well, I'm alive. Thank God. Thank you, Jesus. And I remember trying to talk to the nurse because I wanted to know if it's my spirit, if I had died. Yeah, so I said, nurse. And she answered me, and I said, okay.
Yes,
thank God. And I said, I can go back to the ward now, I'm cold. So they took me back to the ward, for recovery, and I was okay until I started feeling excruciating pain in my chest.
And this is not just because you had surgery. You just knew this is not right.
Something
I'm hurting
is not
on a
right.
next level.
This is not right at all. So I was calling the nurses, as I was saying, I need pain meds, but they're saying it's not time for pain meds yet because you get them at a certain time. So I said, no, something is not right. They're saying you just did surgery, so you're going to feel pain. I was saying this pain is not normal pain. It continued throughout the night, and I couldn't breathe properly. I was struggling to breathe. So I messaged my doctor. This was midnight. I messaged my doctor. He wasn't even on duty that night. And I said, Doc, something is not right. And he left his house, came to the hospital to see me, and he said, okay, try to cough for me. I couldn't even do that. And he knew something was wrong. He said to the nurses, get this young lady an x-ray first thing in the morning. Following morning, they tried to get me an x-ray. I couldn't sit up. I couldn't walk to go up there. I couldn't do anything. When we went to the x-ray room, 2 nurses had to hold me up so they could get an image of my chest. That's how weak I was. Went back to the ward. X-ray results came. 2 doctors came in and said, okay, well, Abby, your lungs collapsed.
Oh my goodness.
So they said, okay,
Oh my goodness.
we're going to have to cut you and put a chest tube in. So I said, okay, so we're going to go back to the theater now.
Oh my goodness.
And they said, no, we have to act fast and we have to act right now. Yeah, so right on my bed, on the ward, they just gave me some injections right in my side, made an incision. But I didn't feel that. But when the doctor took her 2 fingers to put inside the incision to open it, to make way for a tube this big, Yendi, I never feel so much pain in my entire life. It was so painful, I was hallucinating.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember crying and saying, Doc, tell my cousin, send me a call her, please. She sit down right there, so she named Julia Nelson. There's no one there. They put the chest tube in. So I was on oxygen 3 days straight, day and night. I couldn't breathe on my own. I couldn't sit up. I had to call for a nurse to help me to use a bedpan to even urinate. Couldn't even drink water. I was a mess. I was saying, Lord have mercy, God, please just let me survive this. And every time I prayed, I kept hearing, faith, mustard seed. I said, all right, I'm going to make it through this. I recovered from that. And I remember they came to change my bandage, and I looked at my chest and I said, okay, wow, this is the battery thing now. So it's right here, you know?
Oh,
Right here.
wow. May I?
Yes.
Wow. You can actually feel it moving under your skin. Is it painful?
No, it's still kind of numb / tender. It feels weird. The area is weird. It's kind of numb. Yeah, so I was say, okay, I have to try to get used to this. And because of my heart condition, I'm at risk of going into sudden cardiac arrest. So once my heart races, I can easily go into cardiac arrest and die. So how it works is whenever my heart rate goes up to a certain level, it shocks my heart to calm it down. And I read online that those shocks is like a thud to the so I was like, okay, I can manage that. When I came out of hospital the first time I got shocked.
I don't even know why you're laughing, but
No, because no, it's serious and about it funny. I came out of hospital, yeah, and like 2 weeks after, I went to get my hair done. Rain I come down, so I walk up for come out of the rain. So my heart rate go up now. And I stepped to the house, and I felt my whole body go like this. And I turned around and I say, yo, who did that? Because I thought somebody kicked me. And then I got another one. I said, Lord have mercy, man, I get shocked. This is a shock thing, Lord Jesus. So I went beside my brother to hold on to him because I was dizzy. And it shocked me again. And then it ran through his body, so he got scared. And then I went to sit on the bed and I said, come sit down beside me and hold my hand. And mark you, me and my brother, we love each other to death. But we're not the mushy, hug up, hold hand, I love you type. I said, sit down beside me and hold my hand, please, I'm afraid. He said, no, I don't want to feel that again. And it shocked me two more times.
That's literally what you endure inside of your body, much less what transferred to him.
Yeah. So I was sitting down on the bed, and when I got the last 2 shocks, they were so intense, like my feet even fly up off of the ground.
What? How much volts of electricity is going through that thing?
I don't even know, but it's a lot. And I remember when I calmed down Yendi, I take my BlackBerry at the time and I message my doctor and say, hello, dear sir, I come in Monday morning and you take it out back because I nobody want this. I can't live like this.
Your life depends on it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he had to talk me through it and say, Abby, your life depends on this thing. Without it, you're going to die. Yeah. I said, Lord, this is my life now. I'll have to give up everything.
This is all when you're 19, when all this is happening. But then now you're just like, all right, the battery's in. We're good to go. See me or do me thing every now and then I go, ooh, I want, but I'm good to go. No.
Within that same year, after the shocks, I had to go back in to have it reprogrammed. Then after that, I was noticing that the area was kind of getting fat, you know. So I kept
Swelling.
taking pictures, sent to my doctor, and he said, okay, you're having an allergic reaction to this thing because it's titanium. So it was an infection, so a lot of fluid gathered in this area. So this area was like yay high. So I had to go into the hospital again to get it drained. That was a Friday. I came back home. By the Sunday, it was filled with fluid again. Had to be on a lot of medication, antibiotics, yada, yada, yada. Recovered from that. Weeks later, feeling pain in the cut. Turns out the damage a nerve in my skin during surgery, so I had to go to hospital again to get some injections inside the wound with this. They injected this white liquid thing in there, which is painful in itself. I had to get several of that. Recovered from that, then I realized that the area was looking, the battery was looking more pronounced. Turns out that my body was rejecting it.
The battery.
So it was literally trying to tear through my flesh and my skin to exit my body.
Yeah.
So remember the first surgery was April. I got through all of these infection thing and yada yada yada. By October that same year, I was in hospital again preparing for another surgery. Wow. My body was rejecting it.
Was it 5 months later?
Yeah.
Wow.
My body was rejecting the device, so I had to go back in to put it deeper into the flesh.
How many surgeries have you had to date?
To date, 5.
5?
Yeah, and I have more to come.
What do you mean you have more to come? How do you know this?
Because the battery has a lifespan. So every time it finishes, I have to take it out and put a new one in.
How long is the lifespan?
The first one was supposed to be 12 years, but unfortunately it started malfunctioning. So I had to take it out and put a new one in before its time.
Can you imagine living knowing that, all right, yeah, every few years I just have to go in and change this thing that keeps my heart functioning?
Yeah,
Wow.
it's just weird. And then that second surgery...
I mean, it's not weird. I mean, we can find many million other descriptive words.
It's different.
It is brave.
Yeah, and I mean...
It's wow.
For the second surgery, I had to sit out a semester of school. So I was sitting out another semester. For that September semester when I did that surgery in October, sit it out. Recovered, came out, went back to school trying to play catch up because I had to do over courses. I was at NCU.
Yeah.
March 2013, I was trying to be normal. Tried dancing, just a little toops.
How much is the toops?
I was jiggling my body, just a little toops. And just to know, the device is affected by certain things, including loudspeakers. So I was...
Really?
Somewhat of a little distance to a loudspeaker and jiggling my body a little toops, and I got shocked again by the device. And these shocks were so intense. When I messaged my doctor and told him that I got shocked, this was midnight. And he told me to meet him at UA Hospital. And he left his house and he came to the hospital to meet me. And when he checked, because the device, when you connect it to its monitor, it gives you details on my heart rate, on my heartbeats for the whole day, for the whole month,
right,
everything.
Of course.
And he looked at me and he said, Abi, if you didn't have this device in to shock you, you would have gone into cardiac arrest and you would have died. That was so much to take in. I was like, wow, this really is my life. So I said, I can't dance again. He said, unfortunately, no, you'll have to not do anything at all for your heart to race.
I have a question that, I couldn't help but think of it a while ago. How would this affect your future in having children?
It's risky. And with my heart condition, it's progressive. So as I get older, science says it's going to get worse. God didn't say that. Science did.
I love that you said that.
Yes, science says it's going to get worse as I get older. So my doc says if I want to have kids, I'd have to start trying now. And I'm 28. I'm not ready yet. So
Fair enough. I don't blame you.
Yes, I don't know.
Yeah.
But
these are things that you have to think about.
Yeah,
now.
When sharing my story, I just be honest, and to tell you the truth, even having sex is a risk.
Right.
You know, during sex, your heart rate go up.
Of course. Of course.
If I get shocked during sex, my boyfriend gets shocked. And that's a whole set of panic and worry and having to go to the doctor to have it checked. So it's just a whole lot to deal with.
Right.
So after that hospitalization in, 2013, when I got the shots.
So this is March 2013, yeah.
I went back home, I went back to school, fine, until I felt like I was walking on air. Like walking, I felt so light. I felt like this is how I felt like walking. And I messaged my doctor and I said, I don't feel right. And he said, try to get your blood pressure checked. I left school, saw nurses on the roadside giving free blood pressure checks, thank God. So I checked and she said that my blood pressure is low. So I told my doctor and he said, okay, go to the hospital and try to get an x-ray. Went to the hospital, messaged my friend, again, who's a doctor, the same friend from day one, and I said, I need an x-ray ASAP, it's an emergency. And he got me the x-ray as soon as he could. I took a picture of the image and sent to my doctor, and he said something looks off. So this was a Wednesday, I think, and I had an appointment with him the Friday. He said, go home, get some rest. I saw him the Friday and he compared it to my old x-rays, and he said that it seems as if when you got shocked, they were so intense that the wire from the battery that goes down to the bottom of my heart was piercing my heart to go outside. And he said, if I call the hospital now, because this was in Mandeville, he said, if I call the hospital in Kingston now and they have a bed available, I'm taking you up with me right now. But they didn't have a bed available. So I went up the Monday in hospital again for a few days. And they had to do the test where they put you to sleep and put the hose with the camera down your throat, where you can't even swallow for a couple of days well after that. And they went in and they decided not to move it because risky. And I had to sit out that semester again because of being in the hospital, going through all of this and way behind in school. You know, recovered from that, trying to play catch up again, trying my best to finish school. You know, fast forward now to 2015, we noticed that the battery is moving.
Again.
Yeah, so I went to get checked and it turned out that it was migrating. So they had implanted it here, right under the collarbone.
Right.
And it was just falling into my breast. But it wasn't too far down at the time. So they said they didn't want to do surgery so quickly because my body wasn't even healed yet from the two in 2012. And I remember we waited until, we waited because we didn't want to do surgery so quickly. So we waited to see what would happen. Circumstances happened, I couldn't get the surgery done, my doctor being off the island for a while and me just trying to finish school, and I wasn't having any pain as yet, so you know I was fine. 2018, the pain and discomfort started. That was terrible. So here was the battery fully down in my breast by now, a lot of pain, swelling and discomfort in my left breast, uncomfortable. So I went to see my doctor and he said, yeah, we need to lift this thing out of your breast. So 2018, we did a surgery and they took the device out and they put it in a mesh, like a pocket.
Yes.
And stitch it down so it doesn't move. Yeah. We did that surgery in June, mid-June 2018, and I was fine, you know. By this time I was working, so went back to work until one day I was fixing my jacket and I put my hand like this and trying to put my hand back. I felt something hook my flesh and it was so painful. I screamed so loud and it was so painful. And when my hand got loose now, I looked and I saw something protruding. So I took a picture of it and my doctor said, come to see me now. And he said, okay, Abby, what's happening here is that a part of the mesh is poking you.
Through your skin.
Yeah, it's eroding your flesh, and if it touches your skin on the inside, that's infection, so we have to do surgery. This is like 3-4 weeks after that first one, you know. Had to go into the surgery again. Lord have mercy. We did that surgery. And by this time, my doctor's like, we have a good relationship over the years. So them say, Abby, you know, we're tired for cut you now, and we hope we not have to see you again. For now, we just want you to live your life.
We like
yeah,
to see you,
we
but
love
not
you.
under
We
these
love your company.
circumstances.
You're
Yeah.
cool, but we're tired for cut you now. We're tired for see you at the hospital.
Understandably.
We need a break from you. We did that surgery, recovering fine. This was 2018. Fast forward to 2019, February. I was getting ready for work one morning and I heard this loud beeping. So I said, my phone can't alarm, no, it alarm already. I said, it's not my tablet. And then I went like this. And I heard the beeping coming from my chest. It was the battery beeping. Me start panic now. I said, Lord have mercy. I wonder if it'll explode inside of me. Watch too
Ticking
much.
time
Yeah, I
bomb.
watch too much movie. That's why. So I called my doctor and I said, the battery is beeping. He said, come to see me right now. I went to see him. We checked the battery. We're getting an error message. Imagine getting an error message on something that is supposed to keep you alive.
I guess I was going to say, that means it's not functioning. It's yeah, no.
Something is off.
Yeah.
So he contacted the manufacturers overseas for tech support. They responded by the afternoon and they said that the battery is malfunctioning. Something is off with the longevity assessment and the calculation, so it's not good again. So we'll have to get a new one. So they had to make a new one for me. So from February to June, the battery kept beeping 4 times a day, 16 times.
I'm sorry, can you imagine Abby in church and them say, silence please, let us pray. Beep, beep.
16
beep,
times.
beep.
Yeah, 16. So by this time I was working at JNN, so like every 2 p.m.
Oh my
my
gosh.
co-workers would gather and listen just to hear the beeping. Like, they found it so cool.
I mean, I'm not going to lie, it is cool,
Yeah,
I can't lie.
and I made jokes out of it, so I didn't mind. It's a way of coping with it, you know.
Of course.
The device came and we did the surgery. June 2019. Haven't had any complications or anything
Oh, glory
since
be.
that.
Hallelujah.
Thank God.
Yes.
But within all of that, Yendi, I was so far behind in school between 2011 to 2017. My 4-year degree took me almost 7 years.
But I have a question for you. Did you complete it?
Yes, I did.
Boom.
Yeah.
I have another question for you. Anybody else in your group completed it, having had multiple heart surgeries
No.
with a battery in them chest?
No, ma'am.
Boom. I have
Yeah.
another question for you.
Yeah.
Anybody else in your entire space can walk around and say, it's electric? I'm joking.
No, they can't.
Well, boom.
Boom.
By the way, imagine if you just gave a jolt of energy at the same
Listen.
time a while ago.
Static shock.
But I have a question for you, because what you've been through is not easy under any circumstance. The first part alone is not easy, let alone everything else that has come with it. However, I feel like you have been able to find a really beautiful silver lining in your experience. And I know you've now committed your life to helping others who have heart disease or any issues of the heart. Tell me about what you're doing with your foundation and in that area of your life.
Okay. The foundation is the Abi-Gaye Smythe I Have a Heart Foundation. Yeah. I have a physical heart, yeah, but I also have a heart for others, like this soft spot. So I started the foundation to raise awareness, because heart disease is the leading cause of death in Jamaica.
That's right.
And a lot of people don't know that.
No.
And a lot of people die that didn't have to die.
Yes.
Had they gotten early screening or just take them symptoms seriously. For example, a lot of people feel chest pains and it's a sign of heart disease, but no, in Jamaica, them just say, Lord God, I'm just drink little tea and belch the gas off of my stomach. Yeah, that's not always the case. So I started it to raise awareness, because people need to know these things, you know?
Yeah.
Because a lot of us are at risk and we don't know.
Chest pain, go and check it out. It's not always gas.
Little swelling, they say, oh, me did I walk up and down whole heap to the downtown, so I know nothing serious. It could be a sign of heart disease.
Check it out.
Check it out. And another thing, a lot of people die because they can't afford treatment. Living with heart disease is so expensive.
Yes.
The device alone, $15,500 US, and that was on a special price. And hospital fees, medication, regular checkups. and I just know that I want to help the average Jamaican just can't afford the treatment.
Right.
So I just started it to help them. I know from the beginning I may not be able to help a lot of people financially, but spreading the word counts as something.
But also, Abby, if you help one person, you've helped a lot, eh?
That's
because
true.
it's something better than doing nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so true. So over the years, I'd, go to different places, share my story, do media interviews, that type of stuff. And then in 2018, my doctor told me that they needed my help. I'm like, yeah, Abi-Gaye to the rescue. I'm like, a cardiologist needs my help.
How would you look at that?
Yeah, so I said, okay, what do you need my help with? They said, okay, this is it. I want your foundation to partner with us. We're trying to sponsor some patients in getting free heart surgery, but we have no blood. So, I jump on it right away, plan a little blood drive, got all the blood we needed for
Brilliant.
all the patients,
Brilliant.
We did that, and in January 2020, again, we did it, and between January 2019 and January 2020, so far we have saved 23 lives.
Boom.
Yeah, we've helped 23
Brilliant.
patients in receiving free heart surgery that if they didn't get these surgeries,
You would have been a game changer.
yeah.
But you've also caught the attention of someone who is probably really busy. I mean, I just get the sense that his schedule will be packed up. I don't know why. I feel like the Prime Minister is usually pretty occupied.
Very busy, yeah.
But you got his attention. What
Yeah.
happened with that?
So, within our cardiac sector at UWI, because UWI is the only hospital that offers adult cardiac care.
Okay.
No matter how filthy rich you are, in case of an emergency, something wrong with your heart, right at UWI you go.
Right.
Yeah, so one challenge that they had was they needed perfusionists. A perfusionist is someone who controls a heart-lung machine during a surgery, especially a heart surgery. And they only had two, one left and the other was nearing retirement age. That's big trouble. And at one point, that person was ill and surgeries had to be cancelled, emergency surgeries. I was like, mm-mm. So I made a tweet, tagged the Prime Minister. He saw it, thank God. And we set up a meeting, had the meeting. I shared part of my story with him, why I started my foundation, and that these are the challenges within UWI, sir, and we need help. And what came out of that meeting is that the government has offered 2 full scholarships for 2 persons to train in perfusion medicine.
Boom, Abby.
Yeah.
Boom. Nice.
Yeah.
Beautifully done.
Yeah, that's one thing. And I've continued to have blood drives through my foundation because not only to help the blood bank's general supply, but there's a space in it for me that touches my heart. Heart surgeries are done every single day, and a heart surgery requires a lot of blood.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of blood. So I continue to do that. I continue to raise awareness. And my long-term goal is to bring my foundation to a place where I can financially help
Yes.
people.
Yes.
I want my foundation to go to a place where somebody needs assistance with paying for their surgery, and they can contact my foundation and we can write a check, send to the hospital, and they can get their surgery done.
Well, you may have somebody who's watching this now who actually wants to support your foundation and who wants to, play a role in the beautiful work that you're doing, the selfless work that you're doing.
Yeah.
How do they do that?
Social media, the foundation's social media handle is I2, that's the number 2. I2 have a heart across all social media platforms. So you can send me a message there, or you can email I2haveaheart@gmail.com.
That's a good reason to slide into people's DMs. For no other reason, but slide into I Too Have a Heart's DMs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's just what I want to do. And I mean, my work, I'm not doing it for the fanfare and the applause, and I'm doing it because I genuinely want to help, and I'm doing it because I know that it's my purpose. From day one, in my hospital bed on my back, I went through it and I said, other people are going through the same thing. I have to do something to help them. And my story and all that I've been through have given me this new sense of purpose. Before diagnosis and surgeries, my dream was to become a dancer.
Yes.
And I had to throw that away. And at first I was mad about it, but then I said, this was taken away from me, but God gave me something bigger. It may not have been my plan, but God's plan for our lives is bigger and better than what we even imagine.
Yes.
Yeah, it may not be what we expect, but we just have to trust the process.
Yes.
I moved from being this bad dancer girl in high school, always a gangali and nolinga and all these things.
Yeah, we gangali.
Yeah, no, I'm somebody who, once people hear about heart disease, or you can Google my name and see that I'm doing something to help other people.
That's beautiful.
And that's so self-fulfilling for me. My mom died when she was 39. I'm fighting to ensure I live beyond 39.
And you will.
And I am fighting to ensure a lot of other people live beyond 39 who have heart disease.
That's beautiful, Abi.
Through all of this, I have learned, I've been the victim, but I've found my victory in it.
Yes.
And it's a test that I found my testimony out of. And it's painful, but I have found and continue to find my passion and my purpose through it.
Yes.
Yeah,
Love
and
that.
And sometimes the devil might juke me and say, okay, girl, just act bitter, but I have to be better. It has made me better.
A word.
I mean, people have asked if I want healing. I mean, yeah, healing will come if it's God's will for him to heal me, but I'm not running after it. This,
Yeah.
it's who I am. I've always said you don't have to be defined by your circumstances, but I'm defined by this. You see this battery in my chest? It has made me the strong person that I am, the driven person that I am. I have this new positive outlook on life. It has made me the advocate that I am. So while it's painful and it's hard to live with at times, it's the best thing that has ever happened to me.
It's
If I'm being honest.
That is the definition of finding the beauty in the ashes. The definition.
No, I have to give you a move for that. Yeah.
Oh, love coming right back.
That is so true.
Thank you so much for sharing.
It is my pleasure.
No, man. I have for support. I love what you're doing.
Thank you.
So critically important.